China is rapidly advancing its cyber capabilities, and the world is taking notice. From espionage to full-scale cyber attacks, China's digital influence is growing every day. Their military and government are working together to infiltrate networks globally, stealing data, compromising private companies, and even targeting critical infrastructure. One of the most notable examples is the Great Cannon, a massive cyber attack that disrupted internet traffic worldwide, targeting websites and networks in a way that demonstrated China's growing power in the cyber domain. This attack, and others like it, show just how vulnerable global cybersecurity can be to a single state with immense digital resources. But it's not just about attacking. China has developed highly sophisticated surveillance systems, monitoring social media and communication platforms to track its citizens and suppress dissent, both at home and abroad. They've built a digital surveillance state that stretches far beyond their borders, so if we continue to underestimate China's cyber capabilities, we risk serious consequences. As their power grows, the threat to global security becomes more real every day. This is a challenge we can't afford to ignore. Number 5. China's environmental impact of industrialization. In the heart of China, rapid industrialization has turned the country into the world's manufacturing powerhouse. But behind this economic boom lies a growing environmental crisis. China is now the largest emitter of carbon dioxide in the world. Factories, power plants, and vehicles pump massive amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere every single day. The skies over major cities like Beijing and Shanghai are often blanketed in thick, toxic smog, a constant reminder of the dangerous air pollution that threatens the health of millions of people. But the air isn't the only thing affected. Rivers, lakes, and groundwater are contaminated by untreated industrial waste, sewage, chemicals, and toxic runoff poison vital water supplies across the country. And as China's Global Belt and Road Initiative expands its infrastructure projects worldwide, the environmental toll grows. Large-scale construction projects like roads, railways, and dams destroy forests and habitats, pushing endangered species to the brink of extinction. While China's industrial success has lifted millions out of poverty, the environmental cost is impossible to ignore. The damage to the planet is real, and if these issues aren't addressed soon, the consequences will reverberate across the globe. Number 4. China's growing cyberpower. In the digital age, China is quietly building one of the most powerful cyber forces in the world. Behind the scenes, China's military and government are launching covert cyber attacks across the globe. Their goal? To infiltrate, disrupt, and steal from the world's most sensitive networks. From government agencies to private corporations, no one is safe from China's growing cyberpower. In recent years, Chinese hackers have been linked to major cyber espionage operations, targeting everything from political secrets to intellectual property. One of their most well-known tools is the Great Cannon, a cyber weapon designed to disrupt the internet and target foreign websites. This attack, aimed at crippling online access and communication, demonstrates China's ability to manipulate the digital world. But it's not just about attacking. China has also developed a massive surveillance infrastructure, monitoring its citizens' every move online. Facial recognition, social media monitoring, and data collection have turned China into a surveillance state. The government is using this data to control its population and track anyone who dares to speak out against them. China's cyberpower is not just a threat to its own citizens. It's a danger to the entire world. As they expand their digital reach, the risk of cyber warfare grows, and if something goes wrong in this invisible world of ones and zeros, the consequences could be devastating. Number 3. China's surveillance state. In China, the government has built one of the most sophisticated surveillance systems in the world, a system that watches its citizens, monitors their every move, and collects vast amounts of data to control and manipulate them. Across the country, millions of CCTV cameras line the streets, monitoring everything from public gatherings to private moments. But it doesn't stop there. China has introduced facial recognition technology on an unprecedented scale, with the ability to track anyone, anywhere, at any time. That if you're in a city like Beijing, there's a chance you're being watched, even if you don't realize it. But this technology isn't just about security, it's about control. The government uses it to monitor political dissidents, suppress protests, and track anyone who speaks out against their rule. And it goes beyond just cameras. China's social credit system is a disturbing experiment in social control. It rates individuals based on their actions, their online behavior, and even their relationships. A person's credit score can drop for something as simple as criticizing the government online or associating with the wrong people. The consequences are severe. People with low scores can lose access to travel, education, healthcare, and even employment opportunities. The system creates a society of fear and compliance, where your every move is watched. Evaluated and judged today in China, privacy is a luxury no one can afford as the country's surveillance state grows. The world is left wondering, where does the line between security and control end? And what happens when the state has the power to watch everything and everyone? Number 2. China's military power. In the shadows of China's rise as a global superpower lies its growing military might. Over the last few decades, China has been rapidly modernizing its military, pouring billions into new technologies, advanced weaponry, and an ever-expanding arsenal of deadly force, from the world's largest standing army to the most advanced naval fleet in the Pacific. China's military is becoming a force to be reckoned with. The People's Liberation Army, PLA, now boasts cutting-edge weapons like hypersonic missiles, capable of reaching their targets at speeds faster than the speed of sound, making them nearly impossible to intercept. China is also investing heavily in artificial intelligence and cyber warfare, recognizing the power of digital combat in the 21st century. And they're not just strengthening their borders. China's growing influence extends far beyond its own territory. In the South China Sea, China is building military bases on artificial islands, controlling vital shipping lanes and claiming disputed waters with aggressive tactics. They're also rapidly expanding their nuclear arsenal, increasing the number of warheads they possess and the sophistication of their delivery systems. With an eye on global dominance, China is positioning itself as a military superpower, willing to challenge the US and its allies for control of key regions across the globe. Their growing power isn't just a threat to the Asia-Pacific region, it's a challenge to global security, with the potential for geopolitical conflict on a scale never before seen. If China's military continues to grow at this pace, the balance of global power could shift forever. Number 1. China's human rights violations. In the shadows of China's rise as a global superpower lies one of the darkest aspects of its regime, its systematic human rights violations. For decades, China has been accused of silencing dissent, controlling its citizens, and crushing any opposition to its iron-fisted rule. One of the most horrific and ongoing human rights abuses is the treatment of the Uyghur Muslim minority in Xinjiang province. Reports have emerged from various credible sources, claiming that over 1 million Uyghurs are detained in forced labor camps, in what the international community has labeled genocide. Inside these camps, men and women are reportedly subjected to forced labor, torture, forced sterilizations, and brainwashing, all in an attempt to erase their culture and religious beliefs. But the Uyghurs aren't the only ones suffering under China's repressive regime. In Tibet, the Chinese government has relentlessly oppressed Tibetan Buddhists, restricting their religious freedoms and punishing anyone advocating for Tibetan independence or autonomy. Tibetan monks have been imprisoned, tortured, and even executed for practicing their faith. The Chinese government's control extends to every aspect of life, from religion to education, speech to travel. And then there's Hong Kong, where the once vibrant democracy has been systematically dismantled. Pro-democracy protests have been met with brutal force, and political activists are being arrested, silenced, and punished under China's oppressive new laws. The one country, two systems promise made during Hong Kong's handover from Britain has been shattered. The freedoms once enjoyed by Hong Kong citizens are being rapidly extinguished, and this is just the beginning. China's human rights abuses are far-reaching and relentless. And as the country grows in power, the risks to basic human freedoms continue to increase. If the world fails to act, these violations could continue for generations, and the consequences for global peace and security would be dire. As we've seen today, China's rise as a global superpower comes with a dark side. From military aggression to cyber warfare, human rights abuses to environmental devastation, the world faces a growing threat from one of the most powerful nations on Earth. China's actions are not just confined to its borders, they impact the entire globe, reshaping the balance of power and challenging international stability. But the question remains, how will the world respond as China continues to assert its dominance? It's up to all of us to confront these issues head-on and ensure that the future we build is one of justice, equality, and peace. The story of China's rise is far from over, and its impact will be felt for generations to come. It's not just about what China does now, it's about what we allow it to do next. The world is watching. The time to act is now.